And then we're going to do the exact same with the other 3 remaining wires that we have. We're going to twist those together. Throw our moret on them. And then once we've done that, that's where we use our waterproof gel-filled tubes. And these simply slide in. You get them right to the end. And then they just snap tight on the wire. And those wires are not going to come out of there. Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca. Or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for the Lighting Doctor. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you this real quick. And you see here we got this bed area, and this was an area that was totally isolated, that we couldn't get wire to really. We got this nice beautiful brick walkway here, but we're out on Vancouver Island, where it is an island and most of it's rock, and there's just no way we could tunnel underneath that sidewalk without going super deep and totally messing up the gardens. So what we did is, if you see behind me here, on this bush that goes up and then across the doorway here and then back down, what we did is we actually used the gutter, and we actually ran wire up the gutter, over the doorway, and down into this bed here, and we were easily able to do that. And now we didn't have to tear up the whole garden, but we can get power here and still keep all our lights on the same transformer. So sometimes you got to be a little creative with how you get wire to different areas, but there's always a way. And you'd never even know that that wire's there, because where we came back down in the bed is right behind a trellis that we ended up highlighting and featuring anyway, that you guys can't tell from the video, but I can see it's starting to look really, really good. So I'm glad we lit that up. And that wire's totally hidden, so you'd have no idea how we got that wire there. So sometimes you got to be a little creative. You don't always have to go into the sidewalk, so think of alternative ways. Hey guys, I just wanted to explain about something that we do all the time. It doesn't matter how many thousands of lights we put in, it's still a good idea. Luckily we got on this property, we got here the night before, and the first thing we did is we took our lights and the King Innovation Installite that we throw in all our kits. You can get it with our Try Before You Buy It kit, which is basically this battery pack that you can just plug your lights into. And that first night, before we even though we had a design, sometimes when you step on site and you determine how many lights you actually have, you're going to have to maneuver some stuff. And that's why that King Innovation Installite is a great tool for that, because then you can just go plug in these lights. And we literally walked around the property for an hour and a half and put different lights in different areas so that we could find out exactly where we wanted to put those before we started digging holes and doing all that kind of stuff. And because of that tool, we actually found some ways to get really creative and reduce some of the amounts of lights that we were using on the property, because we were just able to place and test those lights before we did any work. So it's a great tool, comes in all our kits. You get it with your Try Before You Buy It light, so it's something that you definitely want to take advantage before you even start your project. When you order your kit, grab one light and go and play around. And even with that said, we went that day and we placed all our lights. We got everything wired, which I always try and do the first day, is get everything wired. But we don't bury anything, because I want to see how those look at night first, because we might have to go make some adjustments. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Right here is we had some lights that really look good, but we have such a cool, unique kind of palm tree behind us that we decided to put another light. And the way we did that again is that we had our lights set. We knew where we wanted to put them. We placed them, and we had to move them a couple feet to get the desired effect. But then we took our battery pack and took another light and put it in some different areas around that same tree. And now we've got 2 lights that are going to be really highlighting this nice tree behind me. So again, test everything out the night before, so you can kind of get a real good idea of what lights you want where. And then that first night, just wire everything back to the transformer. Don't worry about burying anything that first day, because you're probably going to want to make changes. And that night, go around, see how things look, move lights a foot or two here or there. You'd be surprised how a foot here and there can sometimes make all the world of difference. Play with viewing angles, which side of the tree, which side of the feature that you're lighting looks best. So and that's something you can easily do again with that Installite, the battery pack, because then you can just have a light in your hand and walk around everywhere. It's easier to do that than when everything's wired, but still take that extra step after you get everything wired. Go make sure everything looks the way you want. The whole purpose of this is you buy a premium quality light. You don't want to have to do this again, or you don't want to have to do this over and over year after year. So go and make sure you get it right the first time. Doesn't mean you can't add on, doesn't mean you can't make it better, but you can get a real good design just by going and testing it. And it might be a cliche, but seeing is believing. Sometimes you have to see it before you can really understand what that effect's going to look like. So test it with the King Innovation Installite. It comes in all our try before you buy it offers, as well as all our kits come with it, because we want you guys to get the best design possible. Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. We're going to show you how to light up your landscape with the King Innovation Installite. So this is a great tool that we use to go and demo different types of lights to find out what light is going to look best where. So all it is, it's a very simple battery operated pack that just takes 8 AA batteries, and then what you can do with it is you can actually go and plug in your light, whatever light it is, whether it be a path light, a wash light, a wall light, or an accent light. You can go and just plug that into your Installite, and you can go walk around your property and test out all the different areas that you're thinking of lighting and seeing which lights look best in which location and where you want to position those lights to get the best effect that you're looking for. It's a super easy tool that comes in all our do-it-yourself kits, as well as our try it before you buy it offers, where you can go and now test out these lights, feel the quality, see how they're going to look before you go and make any big decisions on your landscape lighting project. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick minute and show you some cool things we did here for getting wire around. As you can kind of see behind me, I'm standing on a driveway that we weren't able to get wire from this side of the property behind me over to this other garden bed area without having to go all the way around the back of the house. And even then, that wasn't really a possibility because there's a lot of concrete work and stuff. So what we actually did is, if you can see behind me here, we have our transformer, and what we did is we actually ran it up, and I'll try and show you this, but up the downspout here and up the roof line. So it's actually up above me there. You can see where the gutter is. We actually ran it all the way in the gutter to the back of the property here, which is pretty cool. And then we just dropped down at another gutter spot over here that I'll try and show you. But yeah, so we just dropped it back down over here, and then we ran our wire back to the front section where we need some lights, and we were able to run more wire back there and kind of split our voltage load, which was not really an issue on this property, but it was just kind of a cool, unique way to get the wire across to the other side of this driveway without having to bring in big heavy equipment and do tunneling underneath the driveway. It's also a paving stone driveway, but it's kind of concreted in too, so we didn't want to mess with that too much. And just by going over above and atop, we were able to do it really easily. We also saved them a transformer. We didn't have to put another transformer in the back that still would have caused issues, but it probably saved them $300 to $400 there. We had to run a little bit extra wire, maybe $25, $30 of extra wire. But just by doing a simple little trick like that, which really didn't take that long, we were able to save the homeowner some money, get light to this beautiful garden area behind me, as well as to the rest of the property. Again, we're just stripping off roughly an inch of each of our wires to make our DBRY connections. And then with these, the way they work is there's two parts. There's a simple Moret. It's not gel filled or anything, but that's going to fit into our gel filled tube. And we're going to take one wire from each of our strands, and we're just going to twist those together. And then we're going to do the exact same with the other 3 remaining wires that we have. We're going to twist those together. Throw our Moret on them. And then once we've done that, that's where we use our waterproof gel-filled tubes. And these simply slide in. You get them right to the end. And then they just snap tight on the wire. And those wires are not going to come out of there. So on this project, we're going to be mounting a lot of lights up in the trees and kind of downlighting, getting those lights up nice and high, 20-25 feet up there, shining through the branches, so we can kind of create some shadowing down on the ground here. So the thing with that is the wire for the fixtures we have is only it's only about 10 feet long, so I don't want to have a big waterproof connector hanging halfway down the trees. One thing you can do if that's something you have is just go buy a junction box at you know, the Home Depot store or Lowe's or whatever it is, and just put that connection in one of those, just so you don't have to look at it. At least it hides it. Another option that we often use is these shrink wrap connectors. Again, you can get them at any home improvement store. What I like about them is they are gel filled here, so once they get, sorry, I got a bee on me here, but they are gel filled, so once they heat up, the gel actually seals around the connection, and they're very inconspicuous, so that's why I like using them. So we're going to use them for this. So I've got my wire to my fixture, so I want to make that a lot longer, and then I can make my connections down in the ground and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I've got my wires, I'm just going to slide my tube on, because you need to get your tube on the wires first. So we got that on, and one thing I do is I cut, if you can see here, I cut one of them a little bit shorter than the other, and I'll show you why I do that. It's basically so I can cheat and just use one of these as opposed to having to use two, which, same as any of the connections, usually you have to make two for each fixture because you have two wires, but we're going to cheat a little bit and I'll show you how. So basically what I've done is with my wire that's going out into the ground and my fixture wire, I have one longer and one shorter. So I'm going to take the longer one and I'm going to connect it with the shorter one. And I'm actually just going to twist tie those up, just twist them together nice and good, and then I'm going to just bend one of them so it kind of looks like this, right? I don't know if you can see that. So I've got it like this, and I've just got it bent, and then I'm going to twist the other two together, and I'll show you in a second why I do that. And then we're going to twist that, is so that I can go now and I can bend these like this, and the connections aren't going to be touching each other. See how they're separated? So they're not going to be touching each other inside the same shrink wrap connector. They're both in there, they're not touching. Something else you can do just to make sure is sometimes I'll put some electrical tape just around those, just to make sure those connections don't touch, and then I'll go and I will shrink wrap that together. So how you do that is very simple, is you just need a torch of some kind, and then you just lightly warm that up, and you watch it shrink. You're going to be careful not to get too close and burn anything. Make sure all the wires are still inside. It's pretty hot afterwards, so give it a good little, I just try and seal it up a bit, but you can see the ooze is kind of coming out a little bit, so it's all waterproofed in there, and once it solidifies, it's pretty hard, and you are not pulling those wires apart. So if you're doing any tree lighting or need to hide some wire and extend it and make a pretty inconspicuous connection, shrink wrap connectors is a really good way to go. I wanted to also talk about making your controllers Wi-Fi really cost effectively, and also running multiple zones. There is transformers out there where you can have one transformer that runs, say, a zone for your front and a zone for your back. In all honesty, they're pretty confusing to work, and they get quite expensive, and there's some limitations and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to tell you a real cost-effective way of doing that, especially if you only have, like, say, a front yard and a backyard zone. If it doesn't matter, then just run them all off the same transformer. But if you want to control them separately, front yard, backyard, with simple on-off functions, the best way to do it is just with a simple Wi-Fi timer like this. So this is one we've used for a long time. It's from Wion. It works, it's weatherproof, it's great outdoors. There's literally tons of models out there that you can use. We just use this one because this is what we know, and we haven't had a lot of issues with it. But basically all we've done is we've taken just a standard transformer that all it has is a simple on-off switch inside here that you flick on or off, And to bypass that, instead of putting like a photocell where now, you know, we got to be conscious of where we're putting that transformer so it's not in the shade so our lights don't come on too early, what we've done is two ways you can do this. One is we've basically just taken our Wi-Fi timer, we've plugged it into our outlet, and then we've plugged our transformer into there. Sometimes the reason I like doing that is just because when you put these little things inside the box, which I'll show you, the Wi-Fi signal isn't as strong. It's sometimes cause some issues. But if you want to put it inside, it's pretty easy. You'll see the transformers and any of the good ones that you'll buy, not the Malibu or Moonrays or Hampton Bay or any of those garbage ones, but a good solid stainless steel one is going to have a setup like this where you have an on-off switch, and then you've got this little plug in here. And all you basically have to do is take this plug out and you plug your timer into there, and then you plug this back into there, and then all of a sudden that's inside, but this operates as what it would be like a photocell. And all this is, if you had any kind of old timer or photocell, it basically plugs into this kind of thing too. So that's how you make your system a Wi-Fi. And it doesn't matter if you have a smart home system and they make a compatible outdoor outlet, then just use that. If you have you're plugging on a Wi-Fi switch already that's inside the house, well then you don't even need that, because basically you can just plug this in, leave it in the on position, and then you control everything from whatever your smart home system is. And the reason I say that's a cost-effective way is because now if you want to do the front and the back, it's typically going to be cheaper for you just to get 2 transformers, 2 smart devices, and have a front and a back zone, as opposed to going and buying one of the programmable zoning ones. And not that I've got one in my house. I get my stuff at cost, so I don't mind paying for it. But I know that a lot of you, and even myself, if I had to pay full price, I might not be paying for that zoning option, because realistically, it's not something that we use a whole ton in a much more affordable way. Simple transformer, Wi-Fi timer, and you're set. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys got some great do-it-yourself landscape lighting tips. Now, please be sure to go to our website at lightingdoctor.ca and check out our how-to page. It's full of great resources, from our podcast to our video to our most frequently asked questions. And also check out our Try It Before You Buy It light, where you can actually go now and get one of our premium quality uplights and a King Innovation Installite, which is basically a battery pack now that allows you to go and run those lights and test them out on your property. Try it for 14 days. If you don't love it, send it back to us and we'll give you a full refund. And if not, you keep the light at a discounted rate and go and buy what you need for your project. So thanks again for watching. Please be sure to leave us a comment. We love your feedback, and have a great day.